So are we actually going to do this? Yeah, we are. Let's go.
My friends, I want to talk about something that maybe no one has told you, and it's time we have this conversation. It may not be easy to hear, but I want you to be open-minded as we open up this Pandora's box and talk about a little bit of truth and the fact that your audience is lying to you and you're believing them. It's not easy to hear this. It's something that I've been wanting to talk about because I have fallen for the lie and the things that my audience is saying, and it has caused me to feel confused and frustrated. And let me explain more. Okay, so here's what's happening. My ideal client says, I need more clients. They want to grow their business. They need more clients. They need more sales. I need more leads. They are telling me they want more clients. So then I say, well, I can help you get more clients. And all my content is created around client attraction and how to do it. And nothing happens. And this is the pattern that I see. I want more time. I want to be more productive. And then you create all this content to help them be more productive. All these advertisements to say, hey, I have what you need, what you're saying you want and what you're struggling with or what you wish you had. I have it. And you're waving your flag. Hey, I have it. Why are you not doing anything about it? Why are you not pressing buy? And you get on discovery calls and they're like, oh yeah, I'm not ready for that yet. And it's so frustrating and confusing for me as somebody who's trying to give my people what they're saying they need. But the truth is they're lying. I want to talk to you about how this is a revelation and it can be a revolution in your business. What if our audience is not actually telling you what they really want? They're not lying maliciously. They're protecting themselves from vulnerability. When they say what they want, when they are telling you these surface level problems, protecting themselves from the vulnerability and the deeper rooted problem. And the cost of not knowing this in your business and in your marketing and your messaging is that you are going to try to solve the wrong problem in your content, and your content is going to keep falling flat every time. So if you are super confused because you're like, I just don't understand. Like they say they want this. I tell them I can give it to them. I show them the way I'm going to do it. And they still don't buy. I raise my hand with the frustration, my friend. And it's infuriating because you're like, I'm literally saying what you're saying to me because that's what we're taught. We're taught to say, what do they want? What do they don't want? What are the words they're using? And then repeat it back to them and you're going to get sales. It's just not enough anymore. So I'm going to give you some surface versus reality problems. The distinction of saying, I need more clients on the surface level, but the reality of the actual problem that they have is I need to feel secure and stop questioning my worth. I want to feel like people believe in my value and they can find me and see it and buy quickly. That's what I need more clients means because there are plenty of people out there to buy. There is not a lack of buyers. It's the confidence and understanding that they need to feel like they can sell. Let's give another example. I want work-life balance. That's what they say, right? I want to balance things. I want to be able to do both. I want to be a mom and be a business owner. So literally, I have several people that I know who are geniuses at productivity and helping people understand how to get what they want in their life and their business and get more accomplished with doing less. And, they advertise, hey, I can help you have a better work-life balance. I can help you find that balance to juggle between business and babies. Well, that is the surface level problem. What they really actually want is they want to stop feeling guilty about their choices. Oh, man, I don't want to feel guilt. That mom guilt, that business guilt, the frustration, the wasting of time guilt, the wasting of resources guilt. It's there. I heard them all this week. When we say we want work-life balance, nobody really pays to have that because we don't really believe it. What we really want is I want to stop feeling guilty. I want to stop feeling like I'm not doing everything I have to do. I want to stop feeling defeated. I need better marketing. Maybe you're a social media manager and somebody's like, I just wish somebody would take over my social media. I wish somebody would just do this for me. And really what they're saying is I want to feel confident being visible. I want to be visible in a way that I don't understand how to make myself more visible, or I'm too nervous to do it myself because I don't truly believe in it. Another one would be I want to scale. Okay, that's great. I can teach you how to scale your business, but what do you really want? I want success without sacrificing what matters. Ooh, yeah. That's so good. And we can apply this to any business. Obviously, I'm giving you some examples that are more service-based or coaching, but you can really do it with anything. What is the client saying on the surface level? And what is the reality and the truth underneath? This is why they don't tell you the truth in whatever industry you're in, whatever generic phrase they're using. Like if you were a sleep coach, I just wish I could go to sleep, or I wish my baby would sleep through the nights. That's what they're saying they want. But what is the truth they're not telling you? And why? Why aren't they telling you the deeper truth? Well, number one, it's too vulnerable. It's much easier to say, I need marketing help than saying, I feel invisible. They don't realize it themselves. This is another one. This is the thing that a lot of times people who are in pain or frustration, they don't know what the true issue is and the underlying truth. So the surface problem feels more fixable, even if it's not really what they're wanting or what they're going to pay anything for. They are just saying like, I don't even know what I need. Maybe this will help me. They're trying to fix anything they can think of, because there's another piece to this, and that's social conditioning. Business problems sound more professional than emotional ones. So, when somebody says to you, I have this problem, whether it's business or surface level, it sounds less vulnerable than emotional problems. If I say, I'm working on scaling my business, that sounds professional, instead of saying, I am so done with sacrificing all of my time and feeling burnt out and trapped in this rat race when I just want to scale and get more time back. Oof. That's such a difference. They also think you want a logical answer. So when I ask for market research, hey, what do you need? What's the biggest obstacle in your business? Oh, I just need more clients. I need more leads. They're giving me the logical, practical answer that they think I'm asking for, not the messy human truth. Oof, that's the thing, is like, we're messy. Being vulnerable, being able to realize what we actually need, not stepping into the social conditioning of, oh, what's acceptable? What am I allowed to say? I can't be emotional about this. And also trying to be logical with the answers. They're not really trying to lie to you, but this is why they're not telling you the full truth. And we've been taught you should do market research to find out what your audience wants, their needs, their pain points, all those things. And market research is so important. I'm not going to say don't do it. I'm saying do it. But we've got to do more than what used to work. Quick surveys give you surface data, not emotional truth. People will give you the right answers in formal settings. You get symptoms, not root causes. And the result is, from the research trap that we have been taught, we are creating content that addresses what they say and not what they need. And we're really getting to this level where when we address what they say and not what they need, they don't really believe it can be fixed. And they've also probably tried things. They're not ready to invest big money into it, which is why people are like, oh, that's too expensive. And then go out and buy something from someone else who has the same business as you, and they spend 3 times as much money. It's wild, right? Did they do that because that person over there who is even more expensive than you in your product, your service, your packages, whatever it might be, why did they buy from them and not you? Because they were addressing what they needed and not just what they were saying. So this month of July, we're focusing on how to take your messaging from falling flat. How do I get into this content creation that doesn't feel generic anymore? When your content feels generic, it's because everyone is addressing the same surface problems. You're competing on tactics, not transformation. Your audience can't distinguish you from your competitors because you have the sameness problem. When everyone solves get more clients, no one stands out. When everyone solves this problem of X, whatever problem you solve, you're not standing out at all. Your content ends up being really generic because everybody in your niche is really focused on the tactics, not the transformations. And that ends up being undistinguishable for your clients and your audience, because they're just like, well, everybody's saying the same thing. And I tried it from Sarah over here and Mary over here. So why would I listen to Lani when she says the exact same things? I've tried that before. And that infuriates me because when people feel like your content is generic, they do not take action. So if you have been putting out a lot of content using AI. But when you're putting out a ton of content all the time and no one's taking action, there is some opportunity here for you to look at and say, okay, am I looking at just the surface solution that does not create emotional urgency? Surface solutions do not create urgency. They just don't. I need more clients. Okay, how are you going to get them? I don't know, I'm going to do stuff. Okay. There's no emotional urgency here. What does getting more clients mean? There's so many things for someone who sells individual one-on-one services versus someone who's selling a membership versus someone who's selling a digital product. That is very different. Some of my clients only need 8 people a month to make 50K months. That's, very different than somebody who needs 80 people a month in order to hit 10K because their product is priced differently and they serve differently. So what does get more clients actually mean? It doesn't stand out. Surface solutions don't create that urgency. They also don't see themselves in the transformation. I can help you get more clients. Do you need more clients? Let me show you how I got more clients in 30 days. Okay, that's you doing something that's great for you, but I don't see how that really is me. I can't picture myself in your words in the way you're describing it. And really the payoff doesn't match their real motivation. It's like engagement versus conversion gap. It doesn't equal sales. I can put out content that people like all day long, but likes do not equal cash unless I'm an influencer getting paid by TikTok, which is amazing. But if it's not converting to sales for your product, it's defeating, right? So let's go into the flat messaging effect. I've felt over the years, I have seen my messaging fall flat. And I've seen that with my clients. It really sends us into invisibility, even when we're showing up all the time. And I don't know if you can relate, but I've felt this over the years. And this is why I'm on this podcast, because it's just being truthful. It's like, I've been mad and angry about I put out so much stuff and no one's doing anything. So when your messaging is not getting responses or it's getting engagement, but not conversion, I want you to think and look at your content and say, is it falling flat? Because it informs, but it doesn't compel. It sounds like everyone else in your space and people are scrolling past because they've heard this before. Your invisibility is because you're technically right, but emotionally irrelevant. That statement right there, just ooh, I get goosebumps. I'm technically right that about all the content I'm putting out there, but emotionally, I'm irrelevant. It really doesn't matter to them. You could put out content all day long and be technically right based off of what your people have said, your market research told you. But if you're emotionally irrelevant, it doesn't matter. So why does this conversation really matter? Why does it matter that we even talk about your audience lying to you and what the effect is on your marketing and your messaging? Everyone has access to the same surface level market research. That is a big shift. And I know Kate and I talked about it last week about the shift with AI coming in and all the different ways that we can create messaging and content and do market research in a very fast, speedy way using AI tools, which is amazing. Don't get me wrong, amazing. I love it. But we all have access to the same thing. Whereas before, the person who did the most work, asked the best questions and had the most conversations, got the best understanding of their people, who then could create the best content. Now that we have AI, everyone has access to the AI market research, and it's very surface level. It's based off of everything on the internet that is just from everybody else. It's already been done. So AI amplifies the generic content creation, and we don't even realize it because gathering the same data. And so my competition is also on Claude and ChatGPT and doing the same thing as me. Our audience ends up getting overwhelmed or numbed out by identical solutions, identical words, identical phrases, identical surface level impact. We need differentiation. Technical skills are not enough anymore. What we do, the surface level problem that we solve is just not enough. We have to go into the problem behind the problem. When an audience says, I need something, or this is what I want, it's our job as CEO and as the person leading the company to say, what is the problem behind the problem? Because deeper problems are more personal and specific. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The phrase, I serve busy, overwhelmed moms, whether it's mom entrepreneurs, moms with little kids, moms with teenagers, busy, overwhelmed moms is every single mom on the planet, no matter what age her kids are. We're all busy. We're all overwhelmed. We all have a lot to do. And that's just our lifestyle now. So it's not a deep enough problem. It's not personal and it's not specific. So we have to go more personal, deeper into the specific of that problem, the problem behind the problem. And the truth is, few people are addressing the real issues. This is one of the driving things behind this podcast, actually, is what is the actual issue behind this? What is happening with our content? What is happening when we feel this way, when we do these things? And getting behind the real issues and saying, like, this is what's happening, because we got so many surface level problems. I tell you, this is marketing and also the products that are being produced. They're so surface level product that don't really make a change or impact. Oh, that is so frustrating. I just recently purchased something from a coach that I really respect and I love her. And I was like, oh, I really want to see the behind the scenes of what she was like. This is what she was offering. She said she was going to show us these tools, methods, her system and funnel for the thing she produces and is known for. But when I paid for that and got it into my inbox, it was so surface level. I was really disappointed. Honestly, I would not purchase anything else from her because it was not addressing the real issue. It wasn't going deep enough and it wasn't specific enough. So don't be so specific on your content and your marketing that you don't deliver in the product or the service. Definitely make sure it equals. And come back to saying, how can I leverage this to show the real issue and the real solution? Here's the truth. Higher emotional stakes equals higher perceived value. FOMO is popular. Fear of missing out is a thing because people don't want to miss out. They have a fear of like, oh, this is not going to be available for me, or I have to have this now. So creating that urgency, and that will help you position the opportunity in a premium place, because deep transformation commands premium opportunities, premium prices, premium urgency, all of that. You really need to know how to position this in a way that shows that high stake, that high perceived value. And this is how you can ask for the bigger ticket items or have a higher priced product than the regular, everyday big box stores. And this is how you stand out to all of your competition. I just want to let you in on a secret that your competition is struggling too. They're fishing in the same surface level pond. They're using the same search methods. They're getting the same shallow answer, and they're creating content that sounds interchangeable. And this is why, if you've ever gotten frustrated, like, I just said that and she just said that and she's totally copying me. Maybe. But also she's just coming up with the same thing you did, the same conclusion, because you both had in your hands the same surface level basic content messaging strategy. The opportunity here is, while they continue to solve the symptoms, you could solve the root causes. You could show them, hey, here's how I understand you in a different level. And this is what I'm excited to teach more about with our 3D messaging workshop. I'm so excited. We're going to be hosting this a couple times because I really don't want anyone to miss it. And I know it's the summer and you're traveling, you're on vacation, but you don't want to miss this, because this is what's going to change everything for you. Quarter is if you can take this mindset shift, stop taking your audience at face value. What they tell you is their starting point is not their end point. Your job is to understand what they are not saying. The surface problems you keep telling me are the symptoms of your deeper need. I'm going to go deeper into it with my content, with my marketing, with the way I'm leveraging my solutions, my products, my services, because the reframe here is you're not just solving problems, you're addressing human struggles, you're addressing human desires. And this is what can take you into this depth of content, because shallow content is getting shallow engagement. So we have to go deeper. Surface level problems that you talk about are not going to get surface level engagement. Deep understanding creates deep connection. It's that feeling of, I don't know if you've ever experienced this, where you're talking to somebody and they're like, it's like you were reading my brain right now. It's like you crawled up inside. How do you know all this? And you can really blow your people's mind, because they're like, this is creeping me out. It's like you're a fly on the wall. And I've had people tell me this recently. I'm just like, yeah, because I went deeper than what you're saying to me. What you're saying is X, Y, and Z, and that is not your problem. Yes, that is a part of the problem, But what the real problem is, and then I fill in the blank. People buy transformation, not information. Ooh, say that one again. People buy transformation, not information. We can give information. People are like, oh, show your skills and what you know. And that's great. But we've got to show them the transformation, and it's not about you. The truth is, if your content doesn't make someone feel seen at a soul level, it won't convert. I really want you to think about that. And this is something interesting to me because, I'm really fascinated by the shifts in all of the marketing. And we talked about this on our last episode about, how things have changed with the rise of the amount of content we're producing. We also are seeing that people are really relating to the raw, the real, the unedited, the quirky, the unique, the bizarre. They are attracted to that because it's like, oh, I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to have something completely the best ever. And I can still do these relatable human experiences. That's what is getting the attention. The thing is, we're still stuck in hiding mode because we're so hung up on perfection. And so you don't have to air all your dirty laundry and ugliness out there. I did not get dressed this morning in a professional way. I am hair up in a mom bun, no makeup, maybe a little bit of mascara from yesterday. I'm just being honest. And so it's not about like, I can't show up because I don't look perfect. I don't like being on a camera when I'm not somewhat put together. I don't have to force myself to be like vulnerable that way, but I do need to think about the content that I'm putting out. What are the words? What is my energy when I show up? Am I helping you right now who is taking the time to put me in your earbuds and say, this is what I've been feeling. I've been feeling like my content is just falling flat and it doesn't seem what happens or what I do. I just don't get people to buy because it's like they say they want this and then I say I have it and then they're like, I don't want that. And it's just, if you're relating to that, that is how it's showing up. I'm studying over my words because I just want to say all the things. I don't have to over edit this podcast to get that information across. You listening to me on a human level with stutters and retakes and all the things is important that we feel seen. So if you want to change everything with your marketing, don't throw out everything. Start with that surface level problem and take it deeper. What are they not telling you? The depth is going to be so much of an advantage for you. And it's going to change everything because your marketing is going to become magnetic instead of invisible. Your sales calls are going to become easier because you're solving the right problem. The problem that they're not telling you. You're going deeper into just a basic generic solution. It's like that gets their attention. You can also charge your premium prices for a deep transformation because they're going to understand by your content, this is not like the other person who's doing the same thing. This is how I'm different. And the compound effect is that everything in your business will get quote unquote easier when your messaging hits the real need. If you've ever had that experience where you posted a piece of content and it felt like it was so easy and people said yes so quickly and where do I sign up? Just snowballed so quickly. You're like, what just happened here? You nailed it with your messaging hitting the real need. And that's what I love challenging my own clients to like, how can we pay attention to this? How can we go back and see what got the attention? What really made that impact? And let's lean into it even deeper and do more of it instead of just throwing out content and being like, oh, well, 90% of my posts didn't get any interaction. I want to know about the 10% that did and why, and how can we do more of that? Have you taken the time to figure out what got their attention in the first place? And that's a really good challenge right there for you. So I'm going to challenge you a couple things to wrap up. I think this is a great conversation. I want to go deeper into a little bit more next week. But what I want you to think about right now is awareness. Look at your last 10 pieces of content. Are you solving surface problems or addressing deeper needs? Are you getting into the roots or are you looking at just the little bud at the top of the problem? Start with the last 10 pieces. This is why I call my program Empowered for More. It starts with you empowering yourself to say what is happening here. And then we can go to the next piece. The competition check is the next one. Could your competitor post your content? If yes, you're not going deep enough. Does your content look exactly like your competitors? Are you saying the exact same thing the exact same way with the exact same words and the exact same solve problems? It was like, I'll show you how to make 10K in 30 days. Boo, boo, don't do that. If your competitor could post your content and no one would know it interchanged, you're not unique enough. You're not standing out. The other challenge to do with your last 10 pieces of content is an emotional test. Does your content make people think, finally, someone who gets it? Or is it, that's good advice? See the difference? I want the response when we post content to be like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I've been feeling. This is what I've been struggling with. No one's explained it this way, or no one has presented it as this is the opportunity. Or is it just like, oh yeah, absolutely, that's great advice. Such a difference. Here's the reality. If you want to stand out and move people to action, you have to stop believing what they tell you and start understanding what they really need and leverage that. If you are curious about how we're putting all of these things into a format that is actually going to help you create content that is no longer falling flat, but it's standing out in 3D, we're doing a 3D messaging workshop. I'm so excited about this workshop. It's blowing me away with what shifts we've already seen with just starting to implement this formula and format in our own positioning as well as our clients. We're seeing it do big things. This workshop is going to show you exactly how to build out the structure so that you can take a surface level. We're going to start with the surface and then we're going to go deeper. We're going to turn that little flag that feels like it's falling flat into something that is going to stand out and get attention. So if you haven't registered RSVP, make sure you do that. It's coming up on July 16th in the morning. If you can't make it live, RSVP that you are a maybe or that you can't go, because everybody who signs up, I'm going to send them out the replay and some other opportunities. Make sure you sign up and take advantage of it. I need this now because I'm not willing to wait until September or August to figure out what's going on. I have big goals for the last 6 months of the year. Give it to me and show me. Book a business alignment call with me. The link is in the bottom, or LaniJackson.com/let's talk, and book a call so that we can get on a call and find out, why is your messaging falling flat? How do we shift it? And how do we bring it into a 3D attention grabbing, action driving, sales impact content? Let's do it. Thank you for listening. Don't let your clients or your audience lie to you anymore. Don't take them for face value. Go deeper. Say, I'm ready to stop believing. I want to go deeper into your problem and I'm going to solve it and get your attention. So go do that. We'll see you next week on another episode. Sign up for the workshop and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for actually joining us today. I hope it inspired you to actually take the action to step into the empowered CEO that you are and getting more of the results that you want. Before you go, I have a quick favor. Leave us a review and take a screenshot of this episode and share it with your friends and on your favorite social media channels. Don't forget to tag us, actually.thepodcast and Lani J. Jackson. And we'll see you next week on another episode.